Okay, so we are just going to follow up about what Lucy said. We are going to calculate how much Eva and Isaac spent on the computer over a course of a year with the rent to own. So they put down $100, and then for $50 per month for 18 months, which is $900. So they spent a total of $1,000 on the rent to own. For the rent to own computer. So we're going to compare that to if they were to buy a new computer. So we did some research on how much a new computer, a pretty average computer, would be. So a new computer just bought outright would be roughly $580 you would spend on a new computer if you just paid cash for it. So if you went into Staples or Best Buy, you could just go in and buy a computer for $580. The rent to own is $1,000 over the course of 18 months. So a used computer, if they were going to just buy with cash for a used computer, a refurbished one that was gently used, it was roughly $425 is the difference of a rent to own, a new, and a used computer. So how might Eva and Isaac take care of Michael's needs but still stick to a spending plan?
The library?
Going to the library.
Yeah.
So instead of doing the rent to own, you could go to the, I'll just add it here. So they could go to the library instead, which kind of helps if you're doing research on something, because then you have also books that are available to you.
So you have the free internet, and they could take that $100 and the $50 a month, and they could save over maybe, 4 or 5 months for a used computer.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so if you're roughly spending how much per month, a new computer is what, 5 months of savings if you kind of want to round up. So this would be 5 months.
Well, not if it
Well,
was
6 months.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it's more
6
like
months.
6.
Yeah.
Actually, if they're only paying $50 a month.
Yeah, with
Well, the
the
first
with
month,
the $100 down though, that would be.
So the first month they would have paid $150, and then 2 months for every 100 after that.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit more like 9 months.
Yeah.
My calculations were off. So about 9 months.
Yeah, because you take $580 and you subtract the $100 that they already had to put down on it, which leaves you with $480. You divide that by 50 and you get 9.6.
Oh, thank you, Julia. My math was a little off.
Take my phone calculator.
There you go. Thank goodness.
So how are different ways that they could stick with Michael's needs of helping him with this computer? Besides the library, is there anything else possible that they could do in that amount of time?
They probably could have had him participate in earning money for it. Maybe he could do some yard work
Yeah.
or different
So
things.
some earning.
That would make the time go faster, and he could have
And at the
ownership
same
in
time,
doing
he's
it.
learning about
working.
and earning money and how money, you have to spend money and saving. So like Eva and Isaac, we also have to create our own monthly spending plans. Even if we don't have a lot of money and we don't think we have enough money to make a spending plan, so it's just a basic budget of where our money goes each month. And we think if we have a budget, that means that we're tied down. We don't have the ability to spend, but actually it gives you the freedom of spending because you know where every dollar you earn is going. And so you know how much at the end of the month of paying all your bills, how much you have to spend on things like this. So when you put everything into a plan, you know your limits and you can spend without guilt. And you aren't questioning where money has gone. I think we've all sometimes done that where at the end of the month you go, oh my gosh, I thought I had this much money and I don't. Where did it go? So to create a monthly spending plan, we're going to add up. I'm going to use a different paper. So we're gonna add up all our income. So the total we make each month. And then we are going to add up all of our expenses. And our expenses are not just our bills. So that's not just like our rent and our electricity. That also is our grocery bill, while we're spending on gas, if we have to buy clothing for our kids, stuff like that. So at the end, you have your leftover of what you have to save.
What if you don't have leftover?
So we're actually going to talk about that. So that is a very good question. So we're actually going to look at Eva and Isaac's spending plan. So on your next page is their spending plan, and we're just going to look over their monthly income and their expenses for their next month.
Don't have that.
Oh, we have one right here.
Here, well, actually.
Is that the right one?
We can share.
Oh, this is a blank one, this is
Oh,
for them.
sorry.
It's okay.
Never mind. So if you just want to look over that, they have their current income is their employment of Eva's take-home pay. You have their government assistance for Isaac, Social Security for the mother, the food stamps they get, and Isaac does lawn care and odd jobs. So their total income is $1,535. So their expenses, their housing, their rent is $525. Their electricity is $80. Their water is $60. Their phone is $75. Internet and cable TV is $65. Laundry costs $50. They spend $350 on groceries. Snacks, drinks, and cigarettes at the corner store is $100. Eating out and entertainment is $100. Car payments, fuel, and bus is $120. They spend $200 per month on clothing. Their credit card and debt payment is $25 a month. Miscellaneous expenses is $25. And then they are also paying for their computer, the $50 a month, and their washer and dryer of $10, which their total expenses is $1,835. So we'll just put their stuff up here so we can. Their expenses are $1,835. So they are at the end of the month have negative $300. So besides their earnings from work and other sources of income, other than the earnings from work, what other sources of income do Eva and Isaac track?
They track the mother-in-law's Social Security since she's living there.
Yes.
And the government assistance.
And their government assistance.
And food stamps.
And food stamps.
And then odd jobs that Isaac does.
And their odd jobs. Yes. So they are getting income from multiple sources. I kind of answered it. Sorry, what is their total income is the next question, but we know that the total income is $1,535. And their total expenses is $1,835. So what left do they have?
They're in the whole 300.
They're negative 300. It's not looking great for them in this month right now. So we are going to name some suggestions for Eva and Isaac. They're in the hole, negative $300. Mm-hmm. What changes, if we look at that spending plan, what are some changes we can see just off the top of our heads that maybe they could take away from on their expenses, things that they could change to get those expenses down?
Clothing.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
kinda
a lot
high.
of money on clothing.
Yeah.
Especially, if they do still need new clothing, they can shop at secondhand stores and things like that.
So how far do we think we could drop that clothing expense?
Is it for the three of them
I
or
think
also the
it's-
mother?
I think it's the total family because
For the household.
they're bringing everyone's income in, so I'm guessing. So $200.
Well, hopefully
For the
they
whole-
could, like, maybe not buy anything, but let's maybe go with it down to 50.
$50.
That's what I was
Something.
thinking.
So if we dropped it to $50,
That would save 150
yes,
there.
so we are up to negative 150. Is there anything else that would help us out?
Well, it's hard to give up, but the meals out and entertainment is not a need as much as it's a desire. So maybe,
And sometimes
maybe
a
we can,
convenience.
maybe they could cut that in half to only $50 and find some more creative, fun ways to have entertainment. Like instead of maybe going out to the movies, which I can't believe how expensive it is to go out to a movie now.
Which
Maybe
that's
they
like
could-
$100 right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe they could just make popcorn and rent a movie
Yeah, we
at
do that. I do
home
that a lot at home.
instead of going to a theater because that could save a lot and maybe cut that budget to $50.
And eating out really it's a convenience. It's
Yeah.
super easy. You go and you grab it and you go home. But really it adds up so quickly.
Mhm.
So if we just dropped that down, maybe half,
Yeah. So
just to
like
$50.
still, I mean, I think we all need to allow ourselves some entertainment
yeah,
and something,
Well-
but maybe cut it in half.
Yeah, I've taken a similar class in the past, and the facilitator of that class kind of mentioned you have to give yourself even just a little bit of fun money because it's human nature and you're gonna spend it whether or not you budget for it. But if you budget for it, you're not gonna feel guilty about it.
And I know for myself personally, if I pull back too hard and I'm saving and I'm not spending anything, you almost get to the point where you get a little extra and you think, I have to do this for myself. And you just pour
Go
tons
hog
of
wild.
yes. And then you're like, now it's gone. I shouldn't have done that. So you have to treat yourself a little here and there. So I think helping with just half the meals out and entertainment still gives them the entertainment side and the little treats they deserve, but still helping. Is there anything else on there
I
that
think the corner store spending would be tough, but I think maybe that would be something that they could sacrifice to make ends meet better, at least cut it in half.
Yeah.
That's what.
well, in your corner store too is, you think of a soda at the
Right.
store is
Right,
$2, and if you put on your grocery budget
right,
a case of
right.
soda, it drops it and
Lot.
you're still enjoying it. So
Right,
you have to kind of plan more,
right.
but you're still gonna save. So the corner store is another one.
I actually had a question about the laundry cost because we have down here the washer and
Yeah,
dryer
I
that
do
they've
too.
rented. So what are we spending $50 a month on laundry costs on top of the washer and dryer? Is that detergent and
That is a very good question.
because I mean personally for me all of our laundry and cleaning supplies is just rolled into our grocery budget to keep one line item in our budget. So I'm not sure what that laundry costs means.
That's a good question.
That is a good question because I wonder if they still have it in their budget
Like maybe
That
they
they-
were going to the laundromat but now they don't have
and now
to.
they have washer and dryer. So maybe you could get rid of it completely. I don't know. Is that something
Or
that's
at least cut it down to $10 for soap.
yes,
Maybe.
that is true.
Yeah.
So that one is a good one because we don't know, right? They have a washer and dryer now. Maybe they forgot that line was in there and they aren't spending that $50 each month.
Mm-hmm.
So if we do laundry, just for our soap, what are we at? So 40. So we're down to -10. We're almost there, right? We're almost even. Is there anything else that we can look at to find? Everything else is kind of
Well, we don't know what miscellaneous expenses is.
Yeah, that's kind of the same as the laundry being the washer and dryer. Can't miscellaneous be part of the snacks and drinks and cigarettes? Because that sounds miscellaneous to me.
yeah, and to me miscellaneous is always those things that just pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, I have to pay that and I totally forgot or
Child's field trip
my
or
child is
yeah.
sick and now they need medicine and that was not in my budget, so there's $15 there. So I think that's possibly what they're thinking, but I mean we're getting close,
Yeah.
right?
We might be able to to look at, I don't know what their cable TV internet is, but
Yeah.
they maybe could look for a cheaper plan.
Yes.
And see if that is a possibility.
And that is really good, is when you are trying to save money, is just to call around and get to a lower.
Mhm.
So if we just, and honestly, if you could call and figure out how to drop your internet $10, or even just call and ask for discounts. I know, like cable TV, you can call and say, hey, you know, is there any plan that drops me down $10? I still get the channels I like, but I'm not getting the music channels that I don't ever listen to except on the holidays.
Yeah.
So maybe we could drop cable down $10, and then we are pretty
Yeah.
much balanced. Yeah, so if we just kind of running out now. So drop that down $10 to what were we at?
We're at 65, so drop it to 55.
To 55. And then we are
Balanced.
balanced. Yes.
We only talked about ways to cut expenses.
Yes.
But we,
We do need to talk about opposite.
right.
For the income.
Okay, so are you
We are going that direction
Okay.
too.
All right.
Yes, so other than dropping expenses, how are different ways that they could maybe earn more income or pull more money in?
Sometimes you can get extra hours at work if there's
So just some ideas, so extra hours for income.
And maybe Isaac could do more odd jobs, look for additional
Or
odd
maybe
jobs,
just
or
some
even
could.
just a job. Like, you know, maybe he could look
Yes.
for
I
a
mean-
more steady type of job.
Wait, is Isaac the father?
That's the
Yes.
father.
This is the father.
So the son maybe could get some lawn mowing
Yes.
jobs or.
So I was
snow
thinking
shoveling.
Isaac mows lawns.
Yeah.
You know, he could probably maybe bring his son along or help him find something to do.
Right.
So Michael, it was Michael, right?
Because to our knowledge, he's old enough to have even a part-time
Yeah.
job after school, right?
Because he has.
Yes, he has a computer.
Yeah, so.
Which that doesn't mean that he's old now, but yeah. So is there any, you know, just the odd jobs are really, that would really add up if throughout the month, if they could
Yeah.
find just little things here and there to add to this, then you would have, what would happen if they had extra income and they were able to drop their expenses lower?
They have money to save.
They have money.
And we left the mother-in-law out, and
Yeah.
she is on Social Security, but there's, you know, she potentially has some abilities that she could use too.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
she could bake
babysit.
or
Yeah, I was
babysit,
gonna say both of those
childcare, or she could do some baking, you know.
You don't know, maybe
so-
she knits.
cookies.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
could
she
sell
could
things
knit.
at a craft show. I know
Yeah.
that's,
I do that for extra income,
See?
actually.
and it adds up.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
does.
those little things that you think if you're at negative 300, $20 for selling something, that adds up over time. So if we could get the mother-in-law just something that
I'm
she
sure
could
she
do.
has skills or abilities that she
Yeah.
could use. Maybe she just hasn't thought of.
Yeah,
And that might help the relationship too, if she felt she was contributing and that they felt
Yeah.
that she was helping out more.
yeah, and that might build that communication with Isaac and the mother-in-law also.
Yeah,
So that's
very good.
my part.
Thank you.